From Wall Street Journal Tech Live, I'm your host, Sehr Thadhani, and it's a pleasure to be here with Lydia Jett, who is the Managing Director at SoftBank Vision Fund. Lydia, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
How did you get into investing?
I have been in investing for over 20 years, so I've been doing this a long time. I think it really boils down to, I sat in investment banking, a job that I loved, but I looked at all the people I really admired and they were exiting to go to investing, so I had to chase them down.
I read last year that there were 22 female founders who had taken their companies public.
It's an extraordinary number, right? 22 women. It actually is an extraordinary number if you just take a look back 5 years ago and think about how many women had done it. I think about when Katrina Lake stood on stage with her newborn child, I believe. It was just an astounding feat for people in venture to look at a woman in that role. And so I think about it today and I say, yes, of course we're not as far along as I'd like us to be, but I can't believe how much progress we've made. And so as I sit in a growth equity investor seat, investing in scaled companies, it was only really 2020, 2021 where I found companies of scale that were founded and led by women to back. And we backed multiple of them last year. And so the progress feels slow, but yet when you've been around for as long as I have and you look back, it is so exciting to see how much room we've made. It is so much fun to get to see the world at this scale. Prior to SoftBank, I'd been an investor for a long time, but the companies we work with here at this scale are just amazing. And I think the globality of the role that I sit in and the way it allows me to look at trends from Korea, from China, from India, and translate them back to the US is such a fascinating place to be for a girl who grew up in Oregon.
When you think about investing in a company, what are some of the things you look for in a founder and in the company?
We're investing in growth companies, so we think really hard about underlying strength in consumer bases. You know, we really think about getting to understand the founder that has taken a company to a breakout space and how do we amplify that. And I think that founder is so key to that decision.
Yeah, and they all have so much passion.
Companies are messy.
Yes.
And I think finding your reason to be, the reason that you keep going every single day, the way you keep inspiring staff that is really at points in time curious about why they should stay, requires just so much grit and resilience out of a founder that it's a pretty special person that creates these companies.
Speaking of questions, what are some of your favorite questions to ask who are running companies that you're considering investing in?
I love to hear about the mess. You know, I love to get to know founders and understand how authentic and honest are they going to be with their shareholders? How much do they want to actually open the veil on that? But not only that, but how do they think through problems? How do they actually get to the root of a problem and how do they work to address it? And so for me, I love to spend time on what isn't working, which sounds a little bit counterintuitive, but it's a great lens into the ideas and thoughts of a founder.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for being here and for spending time with us.
Thank you for having me.
Looking forward to seeing you again.